I'm Furby, and in this video I will show you my journey through the Big History unit. Firstly, what is Big History? Big History is the history of the universe. This ranges from the Big Bang all the way up to now. The information would be too much to have laid down, however. That is why it's divided into 8 thresholds. Threshold 1 is the threshold on the Big Bang. This is where it all started. The Big Bang is the most popular theory to the day on how the universe was created. The Big Bang happened when a whole heap of energy, all of the energy that existed, was in one point, in a singularity. Then, this energy became too great and a massive, powerful explosion resulted from it. This explosion provided everything needed to create the universe we can see today. The other part of the first threshold was how our view on the creation of the universe has changed. This was related to a number of scientists from throughout humanity. We all had to study a certain one of these scientists. I studied Nicholas Copernicus. He believed the sun was the center of the universe, which was much to the contrary of most other scientists at the time. Copernicus was born in 1473. To be honest, I did not enjoy this threshold much. I enjoyed the theory of the Big Bang, but I did not enjoy studying the scientists and their theories. Threshold 2 and 3 were thresholds that we did not study in our classes, but these thresholds were on the creation of the stars and new chemical elements. Threshold 4 was based around the creation of our solar system, including the planets and our Earth. This threshold explains the Goldilocks conditions that were needed for our solar system to be created. The solar system was created through a process called accretion. Accretion is the process in which smaller, lighter particles spin around heavier, larger particles, and eventually the lighter particles crash into the heavier particles. Over time, this process creates planets, and is what created our solar system. To demonstrate this process, we used a salad spinner with a heavier type of paint in the center, with a lighter variant of the same paint in the center as well. Then the spinner was spun, which caused the lighter paint to fly all around the outside of the spinner. This activity was fun, however, was not too successful. The Earth was also part of this threshold. A major part of this threshold was the theory of plate tectonics. Convection currents under the crust of the Earth force the different sections of the crust to move around. This causes land masses to drift. This was displayed with an activity that was done in the school swimming pool, where there are a number of continent-shaped flowing blocks. These blocks were put together in the swimming pool to resemble Pangea and Gondwana. This activity was done quite well, I thought. The other part of this threshold that we studied briefly was why life could not have existed whilst Earth was under the process of accretion. Threshold 5 was the final threshold that we studied. This threshold was the threshold on life. This went through what life needed to happen, how life started, and also how it became what it is now today. Life, to begin, needed a surplus of elements and a place they could combine in new and exotic ways. This is why people think that life on Earth began near deep sea vents deep in the ocean. This is because there was a whole heap of chemicals seeping out of these vents, as well as a whole heap of heat. These conditions allowed for LUCA to be created. LUCA stands for Last Universal Common Ancestor. LUCA was a single-celled, very basic organism. But how did this single-celled organism manage to lead to intelligent life? DNA is the information that says exactly what is in every cell. This information allows for cells to multiply and replicate themselves. However, when cells go to multiply, sometimes the DNA code gets changed or mutated. This results in a new type of organism. Over generations, this small amount of changing resulted in more complex organisms. This is called evolution. Some major changes that revolutionized life are divided into mini thresholds. The first mini threshold of life was photosynthesis. This allowed for organisms to use the heat of the sun instead of relying on the heat of the deep sea vents. The second was the development of eukaryotes. Eukaryotes had in them organelles. Organelles do different jobs. This allowed for more complex procedures to happen. The next mini-threshold was the creation of multi-celled organisms. This was created by eukaryotes combining. This allowed for the adaptation and response to different environments. The fourth was the creation of a brain, where nerve cells could control the whole organism. The fifth was moving on to land, and the last was mammals. We are mammals, and without mammals becoming the dominant life forms, humans would not be here. So, Threshold 1 was centered around the Big Bang. Threshold 2 and 3 were not studied in our class. Threshold 4 was around the creation of our solar system, and Threshold 5 was around life. These are a few videos that I enjoyed along the way, and the links to these videos will be attached in the description. And that's my story of my journey through the Big History Project. Thank you.